And like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. I'm here with Michael Fielden, rocking a new hat for himself. He looks stunningly good in the bright red. We're going to be talking about something that might make you bright red in the face. We're going to be talking about Zillow leads, buying leads, any other kind of lead source out there, or should you do it for yourself? Now, we're going to have a heated debate here because two of us have two different opinions, and I'm going to summarily smack Michael right across the face in my thoughts. So I want you guys to give your opinions right down below in the comments, and we'll go from there. But before we get into the content, Michael Fielden, the legend, the myth, the man, the content creator, the tech wizard, how are you?
I'm good, Greg. Thanks for the introduction. And hey, I am excited. For those of you that don't know, this is a special edition. We are not normally here on Monday. And Greg and I got up this morning and we said, you know what? Bam, it's been an interesting weekend, and I want to talk about leads because, Greg, I am relatively new to the lead world. I have always been in the tech role, and I've never wanted to be perceived as taking leads from other people, so I've focused kindly on my sphere of influence. And now that I'm trying to go out and get more leads and bring in more business, I'm buying leads, dude, because your answer of just call them up or knock on the door is no bueno.
Why is it no bueno? I want to understand that first off.
Because I get more rejection than I get ghosting.
How long have you been married?
I'm sorry?
How long have you been married?
2023.
I'm glad she's not watching the show. So here's the thing. The reason why people get married is because they take a chance on an opportunity when they see a human that they're like, dang, I have to meet that individual and see where it goes because it's hitting all the boxes that I want to hit in regards to like qualities, looks, so on and so forth. In reality, when it comes to business, it's the same difference in regards to finding, going out there and just numbers, going out there and saying, hi, hello, how are you? Do you want to buy here? Do you want to sell now? Blah, blah, blah. It can't be fear-based. It has to be opportunity-based.
Wait, you're wrong.
I am not wrong.
You're wrong. I was a blind date with my wife. It was a blind date. So, I knew nothing about her. A friend said to me, I had been on Match.com because this was back when that was popular, and I was going on like 2 dates a day. And my rule was you get coffee and save room for something else afterwards, because sometimes you just don't like what shows up, even on Match.com, right? They're what do they call it now? Clickbaiting you. And I finally went over to my buddy and I said, I am done. I can't date anymore. I've gone out with too many people that we don't mesh. It's got nothing to do with the investment in money. It's about time. And he said, you know what? I got somebody you need to meet.
You're like, no.
I said, no. I said, not only no, hell no. And he said, no, seriously, just go out with her. What, one dinner, big deal. And I told him, I said, I usually just do coffee. He says, go do dinner. Okay. That was 25 years ago. And now we're married, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and we're doing great. So there is an answer. And I would actually, this is a great analogy, Greg. Yours is the dating by choice, right? You select a neighborhood, you pick who you want to go pursue, and you go chase them. I'm saying be blind, baby. Send me the dates, send me the leads.
That's a very interesting thought pattern, because I have the complete opposite thought pattern. Here's why. It's because I don't want to go on 100 blind dates now that I'm single again in life. Ugh. God,
I did one.
It's like going and finding your new listing, right? You got to find the right vertical that's going to get you to what that result that you're looking for. So if you want, so you're more into quantity, not quality. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
No, not at all. This is about just bring me the opportunity and let me foster and build the relationship without having to go through all of the negative experiences up to that. Right? Because there are people that fall out. We get ghosted with these leads all the time. And there is a huge, we won't even talk about that yet. There is a huge monumental price to pay for these leads. Okay. Right. It's significant enough that it's like, whoa, but it's exciting because you're getting this business. It's drawing you in. And I still don't want to cold call, and I'm not going to walk around with a stack of cards. It was funny. I went out this weekend, and I know it would have pissed you the hell off.
Yeah.
I got into the car, and I was showing homes to somebody, and Greg, I took one business card.
Oh my God. You're kidding me, dude.
And I was like, I had this nice, I got this online. Okay. It's pleather. It's kind of like a bluish color that I thought it would be, and it holds a bunch and it stacks. And there was one in there. And here's the part that's really going to piss you off. I was selling my real estate business, and it was a Support Geeks business card.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's dive into this, because obviously we're going off a rail here really quick.
Going off a rail. So let's focus on the lead part.
I want to talk about something very quickly. So when it comes to, and this is a very important question, everybody who does real estate, they're running their own business, even though if you're part of a brokerage, it's still your business, right? So what's the sunk cost trap? I mean, how many times are you going to repeatedly buy low quality Zillow leads, Trello, Trillia, and you pick a lead source, right? That inflates the acquisition costs until you waste thousands. And we've wasted tens of thousands of dollars of buying subpar leads versus going out and getting them yourself, generating a relationship and an opportunity to create a bond with somebody. At what point do you just cut bait, or do you just keep feeding into your CRM? Because if you keep feeding in leads into your CRM that are subpar, then you're going to be swallowed up by the minutia of BS that people are like, oh, well, I bought with my cousin. It was so nice talking with you. Thanks for all the information. There's no relationship there. So what point do you cut bait on?
Okay. I'm going to turn this around. I'm promoting Watsonville. For those of you that don't know, I have worn this before. It's Taylor's Hot Dogs. Has nothing to do with political affiliation. It's just a damn good $2 hot dog. Okay. So first, Greg, let's talk about Zillow and what they're doing. Go. Zillow Flex is the new deal. And this is potentially a win-win for people like me. If you are getting back into the business or new to the business and you are able to get on a Zillow Flex team, you pay for your leads $0 out of pocket on day one. Okay. There is a very significant referral fee when you close a deal.
Define significant referral fee.
40%.
He said 40%.
Okay. So it's big, and they give you the numbers. Okay. They're saying that you are likely to close only one out of every 30 of these.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I have so many problems with this already.
A lot of these are first-time buyers, and it's interesting. However, Greg, here is where the win for people like me has been. I've closed 0 deals from Zillow leads.
We've said we don't. No, we never talk about that on air.
What quantity?
the closing ratio.
Yeah, my closing ratio right now is 0. Okay. However,
you're making my point for me.
Here's the best part about this, right? I'm busy. I'm talking it up. I'm discussing this with my sphere, and my buddy says to me, "You sell real estate?"
What?
Yeah. He says,
"Oh man."
He says to me, "I want to buy this cabin out in the middle of nowhere so we have a place to go in the winter and go snowmobiling." And mind you, this is a guy I own an RV.
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
I own an RV with. And he's like, I got to be able to park all my stuff. My wife's tired of it in the garage and in the driveway. And I found this one weird unit that is affordable to me. I just got a bonus. Can you help me out? I'm like, hell yeah. So I've got a deal closing this month because he heard me talking about Zillow. And there are 2 problems with that. I get it, Greg. I get the fact that I'm not talking about what I do enough, taking that out of the equation. But in addition to that, this weekend, one of the people that I was touring says to me, "Hey, I've got a buddy that's in the same situation as I am that I work with. Can I have him call you?"
Okay.
And I said no because, I was scared. I didn't want him to call. I was like, no, call somebody else.
Whoa. Why are you scared?
I'm kidding.
Oh, thank God.
So I knew that would get you up out of your chair.
What?
No. So now I've got 2 potential deals that I don't have to pay referral fees on that I wouldn't have had in any other scenario. So there's some good coming out of this. I get that we all hate referral fees, but there's no money out of pocket. I can do this and chase it. Go ahead.
Okay, so let's have a discussion about that really quickly. Referral fees are probably some of the easiest things to pay because you'd pay it to anyone else for 25%. That's industry standards, we all know. But 30, 40%, I mean, at a 50,000, let's say it's a $2 million property, 2.5% is going to be $50,000. And then that would take you, and then you would give a 40% referral off of your 50, that'd be 30,000 or 20,000. So you're only walking with 30,000 on that deal. Now, let's break this down. What could you do to generate business on your own with $30,000?
Wait. You're using the wrong letter. You are using a C. And I am suggesting you need to use a W.
I have no freaking clue what you're talking about.
You're saying, what could you do? I'm saying, what would I do?
Right. Here's the point. But I mean, creating content and video and being out on social media and putting out on YouTube and going out to different events, sponsoring different things, going out and spend that money to build a relationship with local businesses and then get in their hearts and their minds, get on the Christmas card list. I mean, back when I'm in my single days, well, now new single days, but the old single days, my buddy and I would go, who was my lender at the time, who still is my lender. He and I would go to this bar on Fridays and Saturdays nights and just have a good time being young, kids in our 20s.
Sure.
And we got to the point where we made relationships with the people at the bar to the point where they invited us to their company Christmas party. And it was only employees. And they invited Casey and I to that event based upon the relationship that we had. And I've helped multiple people that have worked within the bar industry buy and sell real estate because it was like mind, like spirit. We had good bonds together. It wasn't a stranger thing. And that's what I'm trying to convey to you is that, yes, easy is getting an opportunity from somebody online. Is it long term? Is it a relationship they're going to call you in 5 years, 10 years, 12 years? Last year, I got 4 deals based upon 2 gals that I bartend. Well, they were the bartendresses and the servers. I was the bouncer at a bar. And they both gave me 2 deals each. And it was 10, 12 years after we stopped working together. That's what I'm saying about building a relationship, taking the capital and putting it into other verticals where you can actually build that like, hey, Michael, it's Greg, bro. Oh, what up, Greg? Hey, man. Hey, you know what? Remember when we were looking at houses, when we're looking to buy stuff? And remember that burger place at 3rd and 5th? Dude, they have a special today. You want to meet up for lunch? Yeah, bro, I'm down. That is long-term.
Okay,
so business.
You're just missing pieces. And Greg, we agreed to argue about this, and I don't think for our audience, I'm just going to say up front, there's no wrong answer here, right? Greg's got one train of thought. I've got one train of thought. You may have a third, and if the 3 of us sat together, we'd come up with 4 different thoughts about this. So there are a lot of viewpoints. What I would tell you, Greg, is you can go to a bar and meet people. Okay. True. The last time I went to a bar, I got thrown through the plate glass window for trying to stand up for somebody else. And I'm like, dude, I don't need this. I'm never going back. Right. And I stopped going to bars at that point in my life. And I can't go out and meet people. You're at a burger joint, you're talking to people. I'm like, French fries. Yum. Can you dip it in the soda? All of those things are, out there. So for me, and you're like, what do you, I'm like, what do you talk about? I have the problem where we have multiple hats. We do the same thing, Greg. Am I going to talk about RE Geeks? Am I going to talk about Support Geeks? Am I going to talk about sales and marketing.ai? Am I going to talk about real estate? There are too many things. So I generally fall back to the easiest one for me. I run a business that provides support services for small and medium businesses focused on the niche market of real estate, mortgage, and title.
Okay, so you just answered your own question.
So that's what I'm pushing.
Okay.
However, I also want to sell real estate. And for me, you're like, yeah, 25%, referral fee is normal. So I'm paying 15% additional referral fee for somebody to hand me 30 leads a month. You're not going to get that in a normal referral situation. And the leads become practice.
So short term, yes, I agree with that thought pattern. Long term, no. You asked a question. Ooh, excuse me, hiccups. You asked me a question of like what to talk about, how to interact with these folks, right? Well, here it is. You talk about the other person. You allow them to talk about themselves and what their wants, needs, and desires are, and you create content around that. And then you push it out and allow them to come back to you. The interesting thing about instant gratification versus long-term gratification. Yes, you can go on a first date and have a great time and then never talk to the human being again. That's kind of like a Zillow lead, right? Or you can get referred like you did, your buddy did, and you're like, I don't want to talk to this person. All of a sudden, a million years later and 20 kids deep, you're happy as a clam, right? Because you found your person, you found your tribe. That's what I keep saying about a lot of the leads that I've purchased. We purchased thousands, probably tens of thousands of online leads. 99.99% of them have turned out to be absolute complete BS. When in reality, the way we really got a lot of our deals is from being out of the box thinkers and doing creative marketing and being a part of the communities you want to be a part of, and go out there and shaking hands, kissing babies, and just being there. I mean, throw yard deals. We bought custom fortune cookies, with messages, pens, coasters, moving trucks, water bottles. I mean, everything. And people remember that stuff. And that's why I say you can do it, get leads without having to pay for them, so on and so forth.
Wait a minute. You're always paying for them.
Right. But it's like, I'm not going to say this on air because that's not appropriate and that's not the forum for it. But I mean, you always pay for everything in life, right?
Yes.
So how are you going to pay for it? It's going to be time, energy, or money, or a combination.
So what I'm looking at this is deferred money, right? It's money that comes later. I don't pay anything unless it becomes a transaction.
Right. But you're not building the relationship, which is critical for real estate, longevity in a neighborhood. Would you not agree with that?
Dude, I am building relationships right and left. Okay. Right. They all happen to want the same $149,000 mobile home in Temecula, but
but you're buying online leads. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
that's not where you even operate out of. But you're saying like, oh, I'm going to justify it because it's easy. Phenomenally awesome. If you want to lose weight, if you want to grow a better head of hair, if you want to, I don't know, grow grass, whatever, right? Not the weed grass, like grass in your front yard. You got to put time and effort and some knowledge into it. You can't just be like, hey, Miracle Grow, come over here and just make my grass grow. It's not how it works. It's not, you got to cultivate the opportunity and the relationship. And it's critical to understand that because, yeah, you know what? I went down that rabbit hole of buying leads. I thought it was the greatest thing on earth until I realized it was like, oh, I never said that. I didn't mean that. I don't know where you got my information. I don't understand what you're talking about. Please don't call me again. That didn't fly for me anymore. So I decided to make videos, make social media content. And here's the thing. Gary Vandertruck, aka Gary V, he made a really cool comment the other day in regards to this. When it comes to content creation and building relationships online, you have to have your Instagram and your TikTok and probably Facebook all with your information like high and tight on this thing. Then you go out and you create content about random ass stuff. So I'm at my parents' ranch right now, and I'm looking outside, and they got a bunch of tractors and chickens and everything else. So I'm probably going to go out there today later and shoot a whole video about chickens. Do I know anything about damn chickens? No, I do not. But it's something that will then resonate with somebody else. So now they're in my ecosystem. Everybody who responds back to my videos and my, everything else I put out, I then DM them and continue the conversation. The algorithm picks up who they were friends. They see my stuff. I see their stuff. I follow them. They follow me. Now you put in the real estate and it doesn't cost you a damn dime. Now, can you beat that thought pattern? Tell me yes or tell me no. Zero cost basis, by the way.
I think that your story is true. There is a good
but.
that is a good way to do it. However, a little longer than but, it doesn't work for everybody.
Why not though?
Because you've been in class with me because I don't want to do it.
True. But Joe
just
got
don't want to do it. I mean, Joe
got
Hodge,
5 leads today.
5 leads today because he was calling people. Okay, first off, that's not free. Joe's time is obviously worth some money. So let's take that as a wash, right? So he's spending something to get him, but he got 5 qualified leads. Now, the likelihood that those are sellers is probably greater than the likelihood that it's buyers, which are what you get for Zillow. Most of my leads so far have been first-time buyers that have a 0 to 6 month window. Okay. But it works for me. So why is that a negative? I'm looking at this and I'm saying, you know what, Greg, I don't have a problem with the way you do it. That doesn't work for me. I can't call people. I cry walking down the street, because I just don't want people to shut the door on my face. I don't leave my card at a lot of these houses that I go to because I don't want them to call me and me have to tell them that we didn't like it. Right. And the reality of it is.
Wait a minute. Walk that back for me. You don't leave the card when you show a house?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to hear
from the Supra.
Have the conversation with the listing agent saying my clients don't like your house?
Yeah. Because I don't like.
That is ridiculous.
I don't like the negativity of it.
But it's not negative. It's honest feedback. So then they can correct it and they can get the right price set for that seller so they can move on and move forward. What up, Shane? How are you, brother? You know what? Michael and I are out here crushing it. And I hope this is valuable for you guys. And he and I are we're locked horns on buying leads versus creating leads and opportunities. Guys, give your thoughts and comments here and let us know what you guys think. Would you generate leads or would you buy leads if you could do the generation at the relatively the same cost?
Greg, that's not fair because our audience right now is majority of people that have watched you. Those are people that do the cold calling, that do the work. And I got to tell you, I have all the respect in the world for those people. But what I think is those people are up here. I'm down here.
I can't see your hand. Okay.
Because everything's back.
There we go.
Okay. I'm down here at the bottom and I just want to get a little traction. I'm not, and I look at this as car salesman. Have you ever walked out and sometimes you get the new kid that his suit's 6 sizes too big and he runs out and he's like, hey, you want to buy a car? And you're like, no, I'm really here for shoes. So, I think there's ways, and Shane's saying it right here. You can do it with PPC and meta ads. I'm doing some of that, but I don't do the cold calling. I do some warm calling from databases that I have. But the key 4 words are here is anything that works. Really 3 words. I can't remember what the 4th one was.
Good math there, buddy.
He said honestly, anything that I buy leads.
Good thing you're not in a lender. Good Lord.
Yeah. But it is
equals chicken.
It's anything that works. And I think that the reality of it here is you've got to be willing to explore everything. And Greg, what works for you works for you. That's great.
I agree.
This is something that's going to work for people. And if you are new to the business and you have a chance to get on Flex, let me tell you, jump at the chance because you're going to get the phone calls. And when you get the phone calls, Greg, you're going to learn the core things that you need to do. And you're going to learn how to interact with people. You're going to have the conversations. You are going to start building relationships, some of them less tenable than others. But there's something good to say about it. And with that, we should start wrapping up because I'm just kidding.
We're not wrapping up. Give it a rest, homegirl.
You've got 5 minutes and 22 seconds. I don't think there's a win here. I don't think either one of us are right, and I don't think either one of us are wrong.
Well, here's exactly my thought pattern on this is you want quantity or quality of leads. Now, a lot of folks, when I first started in the business, I wanted as many leads as humanly possible because I was like, please give me everything that you can possibly ever give. I mean, we're going to follow up with them, but then you have to have a follow-up program, the right CRM, the right content to push out, top of leader, bottom of leader. What are you going to do to get their attention? Or you say, you know what? If I get one lead a day, like doing cold calls, doing something, reconnecting with people from high school or from a past life or something like that through your, Instagram and Facebook stories, then messaging them and saying, hey, Michael, long time no talk, brother. How are you? What's new? Something that simple, doesn't cost you a damn dime. And then you go and you build that relationship, and you have people call you when they're having a bad day, a good day. They want to celebrate. They want to inspire you by what you told them, or, some kind thing that you did when you went out and got coffee with them. That is business relationship building 101. Now, low hanging fruit. Yes, you can get it from online leads. And like I said, we have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of online leads. It just was not my forte. I love to be on camera and in front of a microphone. So for me, speaking and being on camera is my way of communicating. Not everybody's that same way, but you have to figure it out and then go after it and never apologize for it. So if you like online, go for it. If you like building a little, DIY, whatever, do it yourself, do it. But just don't stop. That's the number one thing. If you stop, you die. Yeah. So keep going.
So that's a great example. You stop, you die. I stop, can't get out of bed, my phone's still ringing with leads.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, but they're not leads. They're opportunities, but it's not a lead. It's a respondent to an ad. That's the difference. There's no relationship.
Wait a minute.
It's true. Come on, tell me that.
It is not a response to an ad.
Yes, it is. It's exactly what it is.
It is a reach for help.
It's a response to an ad they clicked on and filled in the information.
No, it's people that are on Zillow looking for houses and say, holy shit, I want to know more.
It's a response.
Yes.
So what are you fighting me for? It's a response, not a lead.
But it's not an ad.
It's like you go into Safeway and saying, like, how much is this Fuji apple? How much is this piece of corn? Oh, it's 88 cents, sir. Great. That's an inquiry. When you take it up to the cashier, that's when we're exchanging money for product, aka getting a qualified client who's going to actually put money behind their thought pattern because you built the relationship. We are not agreeing on this whatsoever, guys.
We are not agreeing on this, but I
see him. He's fuming right now.
I think you would appreciate that my cabin buying buddy is now saying, hold up. I just realized that there is not an Indian restaurant within 100 miles of this cabin.
Told you.
Now, this was not a lead.
It was a respondent.
No, this is a buddy of mine. This is my snowmobiling friend. I just think it's funny.
Snowmobile guy.
He's like,
yeah, well, just have your wonderful lady friend pack some wonderful Indian food and put it in the cooler and bring it up and heat it up in the damn microwave. You're good to go.
It's pretty funny. We go out there and we have a product called a muff warmer that we take out with us. You heard me correctly. The muff warmer is not a dirty word, and Greg, get your mind out of the gutter. Okay, a muff warmer is a metal tin that you attach to the muffler, and you can put food in it, and as you ride, the muffler heats up and heats your food. So it's great because by the time, if you start from frozen, you're about 3 hours out, and your muff is now warm. Shane wants to. Okay, so you open this up, and the only bad part is when you're riding, the guy that's in back or your team, whoever you're riding with, all they can smell is your lunch baking.
So bring this back to
two-stroke.
Bring this back to real estate really quickly because I know we got to jump.
So 100 miles, always check before you get into contract because that, my friends, is not an out. You cannot say there was no food. I guess he could. That's a condition of inspection, right? I inspected and there wasn't enough food around my cabin.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, actually, that actually is something, but that's up to the buyer to actually, that's their own due diligence. But so give me your top 2 takeaways on your thought pattern. I'll take my top 2 takeaways on my thought pattern, and then we'll let these wonderful human beings go about their day.
Okay. My top 2 things: business breeds business. Okay. I think if you have to go through the effort to buy, this is a great way to educate yourself. You're going to learn about the business. You're going to help yourself understand how to work with people. It is going to cost you. You are going to pay a price in both frustration from people that ghost you and dollars. Number 2, if you are starting out or getting back to the business, or you're coming in from a similar business like me, I come from real estate. Everybody I know is a realtor. I don't have a sphere that's not real estate related. This is a great way for me to start. Is this forever food? I don't think so. But is it a great way to start and learn and do the things? I'm writing contracts, I'm sending offers, all of these things that I wouldn't otherwise do. Those are my 2, Greg, and I'm going to stand by them.
Well, thank God you're standing by something. Okay, I love it. That's great content. That's one perspective, and that's the whole point of the show. Is like you guys get the content, you make your own decisions, and you build your business the way you want to build it. And if you resonate with Michael, phenomenal. If you resonate with me, phenomenal. But it's different personalities, and that's fine. So my 2 takeaways are this. Number 1, you're more powerful than you can possibly imagine in regards to creating opportunities, and telling your story to other potential people that are going to vibe with your vibe, aka, like, I try to find humor in everything that I do in life. I try to find the 15-year-old kid that's lingering in my brain, and I just laugh my butt off about stuff, and people know that about me, so they'll send me crazy funny things, and I will laugh, and we bond over that. Now, is it going to come to any business? Who knows? Don't care. But I'm out there being me. So when you do your shorts and your reels and your Instagram stories and Facebook stories and everything else, be real, be honest, tell something about your what you're living and going through. Like right now, I'm sitting at my parents' ranch in Grass Valley after 35 days on the road in 9 different states. I couldn't take any more hotel rooms and bad breakfasts. Oh my God, those are horrible. But now I'm back here and I slept my rear end off. And I made a video. Go check out my Instagram story and Facebook stories about, I'm sitting here getting prepped for this show, and they're doing it again right now. There's a neighbor out there shooting machine guns. Now, it's totally normal up in this neck of the woods. It's totally legal. But it's just something I made a story about it going, damn, I'm up, you're in the country when you're getting ready for a podcast, and there's machine gun fire in the background. But people resonate with you and what you bring to the table. So don't be ashamed about what you have to talk about, or never discount what you have to say. You are more powerful than you know. Every day is like a book. And I'll leave this here, and then Michael, give you your final thoughts and we'll close this out. Every day is like a book. And what do books have in common with life? They have chapters. So every part of your day is a chapter. So you woke up, that's a chapter. You got dressed, that's a chapter. You had breakfast, that's a chapter. You get where I'm going with this. You go in a meeting, that's a chapter. You come home, you see your wife, your husband, your significant other, that's a chapter. You walk the dog, that's a chapter. Why don't you tell me about cool stuff that you find interesting? And then we can relate and connect over the cool things that we both like.
Yeah.
Like Eggs Benedict, Bloody Marys. Favorite breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay. So I got one more, because I was listening to you. That's different for me. Is when you start, it's going to take time. I can sign up for Zillow leads and get leads today.
But you get respondents. Then you have to vet them, and then they become leads after you build some sort of a trust relationship.
All right.
Come on. I'm right on this.
You're not right. You're not wrong, but you're not right.
So what does that make me? Half right, half wrong?
You're all wrong. Okay, folks. It's been a great show. We're at that 35 minutes, and you all know that I like to be genuine with your time. It also so happens that Greg and I were yapping before we started. Yes. And so we started later than we wanted to, and now we're finishing up at that time when everybody has to get back to work. Thank you for those of you that joined us. We will raffle off a muff warmer on the next show. I just like saying that. I'm just kidding. There will be no. There are people that are going to Google it and they're going to be shocked when they actually find it. Okay. And I do, Shane, if you're still here, I do have 2 of them. They go on both sides so I can warm 2 muffs at one time.
Okay. We're getting off this conversation topic ASAP. Oh my God. All right.
Greg,
guys.
I'll say goodbye. You close us out.
All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. Give us a like, a follow, share this video with somebody that might actually need to use it, get a little laugh and some fun out of life. Yes, and Shane is still here. So he's like, yep, I'm here. TM.
TMI.
But I want to, yeah, TMI, yeah. But I want to say to you guys, thank you for hanging out with us. And we will see you guys on the next video talking about more muff warmers. Until then, boom, peace. We love you. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.